All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Great that you join us here today for the CV Labs Cardano Accelerator Demo Day. My name is Yanis, and I'm leading the acceleration program here at CVVC, and I'm joined by our co-founder, Olaf Hannemann. So before we get into the actual pitches, we will have a brief introduction agenda. So Olaf will share some information about us. Then I will pass the word to one of our closest partners at Project Catalyst, represented by Chris, and then I'll give you some insight about the program, which actually brought us here now to Demo Day today. And then, of course, we get to the most exciting part of the event, which is the 3-minute pitches by our startups. That's it. Over to you, Olaf.
Thank you very much, Yanis, and welcome everyone. So today we'll be hearing from 9 different startups from 7 different countries and 4 different continents, building use cases across various different industries and applications, which we feel is a really good way to demonstrate the breadth and diversity of the Cardano ecosystem. A few words on CVVC. First and foremost, we run incubators and accelerators. We do that as a service, like we're doing here in partnership with Cardano. We also run programs for our own fund with a particular focus on, the application layer as well as everyday use cases utilizing blockchain technology across different industries. Our regional focus is Europe, North America, the Middle East, Africa, and the Global South. In addition, we believe that venture capital of the future is more than just smart money. And for that, we have our own, what we call ecosystem business, CV Labs, where we have co-working spaces in various locations, run events and meetups, as well as research papers and other startup programs. Before handing over to Chris, next slide, please. Before handing over to Chris, on behalf of the CVC and CV Labs team, I wanted to thank a few different groups. First and foremost, the broader Cardano community, the foundation, IOHK, Project Catalyst, the mentors and experts. You'll hear more about the program from Yanis in a little bit. Of course, our core CVVC and CV Labs team working with the startups and supporting the core team. And last but not least, the participating startups that bring all the expertise and color on the technical side. Without further ado, over to Chris to say a few words on Project Catalyst.
Thank you, Olaf and Yanis. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So I just want to take a moment just to look around this virtual room as it might be. I'm sure that in each of the physical spaces that all the startups are in themselves, the energy is really incredible. And, I'm here to just say a few words about this demo day. And this demo day really is a living, breathing preview of the future. A future really being built right now by brilliant minds that are sitting among us. So to the founders who are about to share your visions, I want you to take a deep breath. You've made it. You've pushed through the endless nights, the tough feedback, and the moments of doubt to get here, and you embody the spirit of what someone famously said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. You've done the hard work, and today we are all here to celebrate you. And to you all in the audience, the investors, the mentors, the partners, a very warm welcome. You are the essential catalysts in this ecosystem, and you see the potential and provide the support that turns these bold ideas not just into reality, but helps them grow. And thank you for being here. Well, today, Yanis and Olaf and the team have invited me just to give a few thoughts about what we're really building here, because it's so much more than just an accelerator or just about Web3 companies and their next-gen products. We are all, in our own way, architects of new economies. And the most fundamental lesson in this new world is that relationships are more durable than businesses. And it's a lesson that one of CV Labs' own alumni, Nathaniel, the co-founder of Truly, recently shared. And it gets to the heart of everything. That the most resilient, the most innovative ecosystems are all built on a foundation of community. Another favorite quote of mine that is so relevant to Cardano today, which is at the precipice of self-governance, is that there is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And that really is the essence and the magic of what an accelerator like CV Labs does. So more than just an accelerator, it's a modern foundry for innovation. And CV Labs is, as I understand them all too well, to be the heartbeat of Crypto Valley. They've perfected a unique ecosystem approach that understands the greatest value comes from connections. They don't just give you a term sheet, they give you a brain trust of mentors, a toolkit of resources, and a megaphone to the world. So on behalf of everybody building in this space, I want to extend a sincere and heartfelt thank you to the entire CV Labs team, because it's your dedication and your vision for creating the bedrock for Cardano founders and this next generation of Web3. And what we're doing in Web3 takes this powerful idea of innovation clusters and really launches it into a new dimension and stratosphere. In my past life, I saw how governments and their innovation agencies would try to engineer these creative hotspots from the top down. But here, look at us today. We're building them from the ground up. So what we're creating really is logical clusters, global communities that are bound not by just a shared city, but by a shared vision and a shared decentralized infrastructure, otherwise known as Cardano. And that brings me to my role today as General Manager at Project Catalyst. I really have the privilege of leading what I believe is to be the next great leap in this evolution, a decentralized, community-powered innovation engine for the Cardano ecosystem and beyond. Catalyst has been, over the last 4 years, a really grand experiment in what happens when you give power to the people. For those of you that maybe are unfamiliar with Catalyst, the Cardano community has actually cast over 3 million votes on more than 9,500 proposals to choose to fund more than 2,000 projects and the equivalent of over $150 million worth of cryptocurrency from all pockets of the globe. It really is a community-led industrial strategy that turns passive users into active architects of their own economy. And these founders that are here today are building on Cardano, and they are the pioneers of this new model. You founders are the citizens of this self-governing digital nation and startup society that is funded and directed by the very community that you guys serve. And this is a profound shift in how we build the future. So as we look ahead to the amazing presentations that you're going to hear today, I want to leave you with these 3 final thoughts. First, again to the founders, never forget the network that you've built here. The friendships, the partnerships, the shared journey, this is your most durable asset. And we are all incredibly excited to see what you build, be along the journey with you, and we are wishing you every success. Secondly, coming back to you guys, the investors, what you are witnessing today is more than just a portfolio of startups. It is a portfolio of futures. You're backing the very architecture of our decentralized world. Thank you for your vision, your belief, and hopefully your ink on checks. And finally, to everybody else in the room, we really are living in a remarkable time, I believe. This old decentralized way of thinking this old centralized way of thinking and model for centralization are really giving ways to something new, something that's more collaborative and more empowering. The future is not something that simply happens to us. It is something that we carefully craft and we must build together. And as the great computer scientist Alan Kay once said, and I'll leave you with this thought, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So let's go invent it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, for these inspiring words. Now, I was just notified that we have a weird tech situation. So we're logged in Zoom twice. So if you want to see Olaf and myself in front of our beautiful backdrop, make sure to pin the other CVC logged in account. So yeah, You can see our faces. Anyways, now before we get to the pitches, just a few words about the program. So as probably everybody knows here, this program was actually made possible due to the support of the Cardano community and Project Catalyst. Hence also, if you want to get into the details about the program, feel free to check out the Project Catalyst website with the detailed documentation and outcome of the program. So heavily recommending you to look into that if you're interested. I try to keep it very short now. So this program itself, actually, so let's say the program where projects were participating took 10 weeks. We started mid-May here in Switzerland. So we invited all 9 participating projects to join us here for 2 weeks, where we had an amazing boot camp with great activities, great networking, and also great workshops, of course. And then we transitioned for block 1 and block 2 into a fully virtual program. So last week, we actually finished the last workshop, and hence we're now at the graduation stage and demo day. So here are some impressions from a bootcamp in Zurich. As you can see, we had definitely a great time. And yeah, potentially looking to the future for a second batch of this type of program, I think we can give you sort of an impression how this looks like. And now also touching upon what Olaf mentioned before, all of this, of course, is not only possible because we are doing this for a long time. More than anything, it's possible because we have such a great partner network, and a big shout out to some selected partners here. So it's actually much more than those here on the slide. Yeah, big thank you. And this also transitioning into the mentors. So we had these amazing mentors that worked on a weekly basis, hands-on with our founders. So big shout out to you, and thank you for supporting the founders in their journey. Now, let's get to the actual part of the program. Now we have 9 projects pitching, and the format we decided is a 3-minute pitch. They will have slides, etc. It won't be a hard cut, so in case you're wondering if they're 5 seconds over and we're not intervening. If you want to get in touch with the projects, you can scan this QR code, and you will have then a type form where you can choose different startups that you want to talk to for various reasons, of course, and then we will facilitate the introduction. If you can't scan it now, don't worry, we will post it in the chat throughout the entire demo day, so you have the opportunity also to click on it. Now, that's it from my side, and I would say let's get straight into the first pitch. So we have now joining us from London, Zach, who is presenting as a solution how to optimize cloud storage and decentralized cloud storages. Over to you, Zach.
Hi there, I'm Zach Zensteel, founder of Flashback, and we're improving the way that you store data. Imagine a world where innovation isn't limited by ideas, but by infrastructure. For AI and Web3, it's a reality. They're shaping our future, but data storage inefficiencies are holding them back. Traditional providers like AWS and Google Cloud, fast and reliable, but expensive and risk vendor lock-in. Decentralized solutions like Filecoin, Walrus, and Iagon, emerging affordable options that are great for privacy and governance, but often too slow and difficult to use, requiring developers to learn a whole new tech stack just to access them. Today's fragmented options aren't efficient for modern needs, and leaves companies spending hundreds of hours and up to 25% of revenue to manage it. It also creates a market dominated by 3 major cloud providers that make it so difficult to leave them or try out alternative solutions that offer unique and efficient benefits that it leaves deep-in storage solutions heavily underutilized, where today they only account for 0.1% of an industry with huge potential for growth. But what if you weren't stuck with, or you just had to rely on a single cloud provider and could combine the benefits of both centralized and decentralized in one, freeing companies to store data where it's most optimal? Meet Flashback, the world's first multi-cloud platform enabling data diversification and optimization across traditional and deep-in storage providers. We make data storage cheaper and simpler and enable the easy access to decentralized solutions without even having to think about it. So, how does Flashback actually work? A company connects to the platform with either email, Google Cloud, or wallet. They'll then provide their data and requirements from a performance and redundancy level. We'll then utilize our agentic AI to analyze these inputs and come up with the most optimized and cost-efficient path to store the data. A company can then choose to take this breakdown or build their own path based upon their own specific requirements. The data is then automatically diversified across the different cloud providers integrated into our platform. So what are the benefits of Flashback? They include the reduction of storage costs by up to 30 to 35%, the easy access to deepened solutions without having to learn a whole new tech stack or download a crypto wallet, and the management and utilization of credits and accounts from multiple cloud providers in one single unified platform, reducing the time to integrate multi-cloud infrastructure down from months to hours. So, who is the team behind the magic? My co-founder and I have a combined PhD specialized in machine learning and over a decade of experience in blockchain and cloud computing. Previously building products in AI and Web3, we faced similar issues with data storage as a bottleneck to growth. And with Flashback, we're building a solution that directly solves what we and many other companies increasingly face today with regards to data, bringing us to today, where after 9 months of development, we've gathered together a strong team and ecosystem of backers, integrated with the largest major cloud providers in both Web2 and Web3. Our beta version has just gone live with over $20,000 in pre-launch commitments and over 150 companies on our waitlist, ranging from the largest enterprises in AI and Web3 to developers vibe coding creative ideas. We're making data storage cheaper and easier so that you can focus on building world-changing products. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zach, for this great presentation. Now, without further ado, I would say we move to the next pitch. We will have now Anya from Farmroll, who will tell us a bit more about a new term called engagement economy.
Thank you, Yanis. Hello, everyone. My name is Anya, and I will tell you the story of Farmroll. So today's marketing is broken, especially in crypto. Projects waste budgets on ads nobody trusts, influencers nobody believes anymore, and bots no one even likes. But let me take you outside the blockchain for a bit. Imagine this. There is a small cafe tucked in a quiet corner. Their espresso is incredible. It's rich, it's velvety, it makes your day better. But outside the neighborhood, no one even knows it exists. Unfortunately, that's the reality for thousands of businesses who don't have big budgets. And even those who do are stuck feeding a system where platforms and influencers charge a lot, but deliver almost nothing in return. What if this cafe now partners with Farmroll? Imagine one day you post a quick Insta story just because the coffee is that good. And now Farmroll picks up on this authentic activity by scraping your profile and using AI to detect the sentiment. And now your sincere shout out turns into a reward. Free coffee, cool merch, or discounts. It's real, it's human, and it feels genuine because it is. And by the weekend, dozens more are posting, not because they are paid to, but because sharing now finally means real connection instead of fake influence. We call this the engagement economy, where every client can become your brand ambassador and feel valued for it. What we offer is much lower CPA than social media and niche audience who cares. Our solution is a B2B model, and we earn through subscriptions, either pay per user or pay per action. And the intersection we are operating at is at Web3 marketing and Web2 marketing. Let me explain what I mean by this. On this slide, this is the marketing budget for 2024 of just these 3 blockchain giants. And the total estimation of the Web3 marketing as an industry is $12 billion. And even though this Web3 is our current and main focus, we also have a strong pipeline of Web2 companies and are in talks with banks, fitness industry, even football clubs, meaning this is a model that works beyond crypto. And the best thing, this is not just a concept that sounds good. With our current platform that's just questing for the time being, we have brought 35 paying clients who have returned over $300,000 to the community of 100,000 users as rewards. And this all happened before the engagement economy update. The team behind all of this is founded by 3 co-founders with similar engineering background, but totally different and complementary skills. Ivica is our chief of operations. He's a crypto pioneer and has a deep understanding of the community. His superpower is sensing their pulse. We have Tom as our Chief of Technology. He is the mastermind behind all of Farmroll's tech stuff. He has a long experience in the banking sector, meaning security is our strong side. And myself as Head of Marketing and Design. I have long experience in branding and storytelling, and my job is to make people see us, but also remember us. We also have 13 more people across marketing, development, and sales. As for future plans, we are now raising $1.5 million in seed funding, and this will make us fully operational for 1 year, which is our estimation for the complete development and go-to-market of the engagement economy feature. Farmroll is paving a way for a new kind of marketing, and we'd love you to be part of it. If you want to know more about the current platform, please scan the QR code. And if you have any questions about the platform or want to schedule a call with us, please reach to the email listed here. Thank you for your attention.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Anya. Quick reminder, because I also saw a chat message asking about how to connect. Of course, you can straight connect with the project through their email address and QRs, but there is also this type form that we're sending in the chat, so we can also facilitate introduction. Now, moving from North Macedonia all the way to Thailand, I want to introduce Sai, who is working with his co-founder Boon on CapturGO.
Hello. Okay. Hello, I'm Sai, CEO of CapturGO. Over the past 4 years, I helped sell over $500,000 worth of hardware used to build community-powered network across Southeast Asia, known as DPIN, giving me first-hand insights into what worked and what doesn't. That experience led me to CapturGO. Okay. The problem: navigation and mapping in Southeast Asia are fragmented. Google Maps dominate, Grab Map is rising, but real-time and hyperlocal data is still missing as they struggle to scale. Business remain to operate in the dark, and users doesn't benefit from the data they generate. Meanwhile, there's 500 million phone, large gig economy, and almost $1 billion out-of-home advertising market remain untapped in the Southeast Asian market. We plan to bridge all of them together. Our solution, an all-in-one mobile applications, allowing users to navigate and share real-time traffic data, as well as contributing more insights and behavior data and earn rewards. For businesses, we offer anonymous ads target powered by geolocation insights, creating powerful ads data flywheels between all stakeholders, like Waze, but better, turning everyday tools, your smartphone, into a valuable passive income that benefits all. Who needs our data? Our data consumer span measured into a wide range of industries, including mobility and advertising, AI and autonomous vehicles. For us, as AI-driven navigation and autonomous system continue to grow, we aim to become the next critical layer for automated traffic insights. Go-to-market. We want to start off as a data as a service, such as traffic insight and route optimizations. Then we activate location-based advertisement and then become a full-on navigation platform. For the user side, incentive side, users can get reward through royalty referrals, but mainly dynamic incentive for contributions that can be redeemed as crypto or gift cards, depending on preference, accommodating both Web 2 and Web 3. Market. As the demand grows, traditional services still struggle to scale in hyperlocal insights. The solution can only work through crowdsourced model as shown in Waze and Google Maps. That's where we come in with incentive model on top of traditional method and gamifications. For the technical flow on Cardano, we will be leveraging its unique features such as extended UTXO for rewarding users and CKFO to onboard both Web 2 and Web 3 users faster, creating the most, pursuing the decentralized infrastructure on our mobile applications. Tractions, we have a live beta with 90 users and active discussion with Lalamove, a leading logistic companies in Latin America and Asia, as well as Here Technologies, a location enterprise software for leading car brand, as well as Amazon. We currently attended a few hackathons, as well as being accelerated by both CV Labs and Draper U. We're raising $750K to $1 million at a $5 million to $8 million pre-money valuation and looking for strategic partners across CVVC ecosystem, such as Natix, which is another DPIN projects. And for our team, as mentioned, I have experience working in the DPIN industry. I have experience in mapping, crowdsourcing, DPIN, and AI, backed by our top advisors in Web3 and real-world infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Sai, for the presentation. Now, let's move back here to Switzerland, where we have now Ralph. telling us about Urble.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ralph, and I've spent the last decade helping institutions manage billions in long-term savings for their clients. But over time, I grew frustrated. Those systems were rigid, impersonal, and they didn't work for me or the people I care about. So I decided to build a kind of savings tool I'd actually use myself, one that's social, personalized, and empowering. Let me introduce you to my friend Daniel. He's 35, not reckless, just busy. He knows he should save, but life gets in the way. It's like smoking. It feels fine now, but the damage shows up later. See this curve? Saving doesn't fail loudly. It fails silently. And unlike other habits, no one's there to keep you on track. That's the gap Urble fills. Urble turns savings into a social habit. You set a goal, define the rules, and invite others to contribute or verify progress. It's built on emotional and social incentives, nudging you toward better outcomes. So when saving is shared, it sticks. The silent failure becomes clearer when we look at the bigger picture. We're heading towards a massive retirement gap. And as a result, millennials and Gen Z have difficulties finding trust in the institutions they interact with. They're looking elsewhere for asset growth and value preservation. So the market is ready for a new kind of savings architecture, one that feels empowering and not limiting. My 3 co-founders and I previously ran a $1 billion pension platform at Leontech, Switzerland's largest fintech. And now we're using that expertise to do something institutions never could, building a savings platform people actually want to use. So how does Urble work? It's a mobile app powered by emotional incentives. Imagine Daniel saving $10,000 in, let's say, ADA or Bitcoin for his son. If the boy keeps his grades up and his grandparents validate it, he gets the funds plus a bonus from our curated DeFi yield strategies. Otherwise, the bonus goes to climate charity and everyone sees it. So we redesigned the environment of saving, nudging you to achieve more by providing a smarter context. Our model scales with behavior, not just user count. We start with freemium access, then monetize through pay-per-use features, yield products, and advanced long-term saving and pension options, just like we did at Leontech. The more users engage and commit funds, the more value and revenue we generate. So it's built to scale and designed to retain capital over time. We launched private beta 2 weeks ago, and with no paid marketing, we already have 300 people on the waitlist, and our high signal beta user group has a 40% invite rate. So Urble is a social product. Users invite others, validators become contributors, and contributors become savers. That's the Urble flywheel, driving viral growth and scaling our Swiss SAM from 100 million to over 1 billion Swiss franc. And we're just getting started. So it takes money to change money. We're planning a 3.5 million seed round to bring Urble to market at scale. For the pre-launch phase right now, we're offering a limited save with special conditions to get in early. So if you're excited about redefining how the world saves, scan the QR code or use the invitation from Yanis and CV Labs, and let's talk. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Ralph, for this pitch. Now let's move to the next project. Tuning in from Canada, we have Aaron telling us how they're revolutionizing the land registry and giving millions of users access to their deeds.
Yeah. Thanks, Giannis. Should be sharing my screen now. For some reason, it's not. There we go. All right, is that working? Are you seeing it?
Yes, it's there.
Okay, great. All right, thanks, Giannis. Like Giannis said, I'm Aaron, COO of Landano International. We're solving one of the most urgent but overlooked global problems, land and home insecurity, by using Cardano blockchain technology. Over 1 billion people live with the daily fear of losing their home, farm, or shop, not because they lack rights, but because they lack records, which is the situation for more than 5 billion people all over the world. Just a couple of examples here on the left. In Ecuador, families are being displaced by gold mines because their land was never formally registered. And over here in India, long hidden boundary disputes can lead to partial demolitions of homes, like for this guy here. The result is daily instability and long-term financial insecurity for billions. Even in countries with trusted systems, land transfer can take months and cost thousands. In underserved areas, records are disorganized, access is difficult, and informal off-book sales are common. It's a massive problem and one that current solutions don't solve at scale. That's why we built Landano, a simple, secure, user-friendly platform for the 5 billion without formal proof. Our first product lets individuals map their land, describe their use of it, upload supporting media for their own claim, share their property profile via link or QR code, and users can endorse and add supporting media for each other's claims, building grassroots legitimacy. We're rolling this out in phases. This individual use platform goes public later this year. Right now it's in testing. This will give us early exposure, market validation, and feedback, as well as some near-term revenue. In parallel, we've been building community governance tools for local authorities to manage land transfers, rights applications, and payments. These systems bring transparency and oversight where it's never existed before. Our first markets for these partnerships are Mozambique, where we've already put 24,000 land titles on Cardano, and Ghana. Why are we starting in Africa? Well, the answer is huge demand, minimal competition, and empowered local leaders who can adopt new solutions without bureaucratic delay. We've already hosted outreach events in Ghana and have partnered with land policy NGO Terralima in Mozambique to do the same there. We've got a team in place and we're ready to expand it. In Ghana, Razak and Nana have led local events and built strong relationships with chiefs and officials. Our management team has a super broad amount of decades of experience and globally important accomplishments in blockchain, secure systems, and land governance. Peter's a Cardano pioneer and archiving platform founder. Doris has led multiple development teams and built Cardano's Mendex plugin. I helped found the first land planning authority for one of the world's fastest growing cities, and Dane is currently on the ground in Ghana, securing national and local partnerships. It's worth mentioning we're also proud winners of the 2024 Cardano Summit's Battle of the Builders. We're raising $800,000 to scale our individual product globally, build support teams in our first markets, and complete the land governance system feature set for full community use. We project about $200,000 of recurring revenue in year one based on our first product, growing rapidly as we expand into municipal partnerships and their ongoing commission revenue. Landano secures property rights for everyone. We'd love to talk about how you can be part of this. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron, for the pitch. Now, again, if you want to get in touch with Aaron or any of the other projects I pitched before, check out the type form or feel free to scan their QR code. Now, moving from Canada back to Europe, I would like to pass the word to Henrik, who is building Fairway, based out of Finland.
Hi, everybody. Is it sharing? Thank you. Hi, I'm Henrik from Fairway, and we are solving what will be the last major blocker for institutional Bitcoin DeFi. Big institutions already hold Bitcoin, offer custody and ETFs for their customers, but what they actually really want to offer is TradFi type services like trading and lending. To do that, you need compliance, and that's what's missing in DeFi today. Bitcoin DeFi is now coming, but today it cannot tell who its users are. And for institutions, this is a deal breaker. Without knowing the counterparty, they risk exposing themselves to sanctioned wallets or sanctioned countries. And we believe this to be what holds back the real potential of institutional Bitcoin. Fairway is uniquely positioned to solve this. We know digital identity, we understand blockchain, and we worked already in both regulated and frontier markets. What we do is we turn real-world identities like national IDs and KYC into on-chain access control using our identity wallet and Midnight network. This means that the DeFi protocols can now go and ask, is this user compliant, and get a simple yes or no answer. And no personal data is ever revealed because CK proofs enable verification without exposing sensitive information. And this makes it compliance ready at scale on blockchain. So the institutions can finally access real DeFi on chain because they meet their compliance requirements at the protocol level and can safely earn yield with Bitcoin. We see large growing interest in Bitcoin DeFi, and that's why we are partnering with Sundial, where we deliver them the identity layer, which unlocks them a lot new possibilities in institutional Bitcoin DeFi. We also believe identity must work globally across developed and emerging markets, and that's why we spent years in Ethiopia working with ID issuers, fintechs, and regulators. In the country, there's a regulatory sandbox for financial tech and rising crypto adoption, making Ethiopia one of the interesting markets in Africa. What sets us apart from our competition is smart contract level enforcement, privacy-first compliance, and plug and play for DeFi. If around $1 trillion enters compliant Bitcoin DeFi at 2% yearly yield, this presents a 2 billion in annual revenue. So targeting 5% in fees would set us to an opportunity of 1 billion of yearly revenue. We earn based on the yield tied to the protocol CVL. We have a Finnish Ethiopian founding team with a strong backing. We just closed a pre-seed with Outlier Ventures and Midnight Foundation to finish our MVP, but we want to make sure that we build the best product for institutional Bitcoin DeFi early and bring it fast to the market. So we are already preparing a seed round post MVP, and we are glad to talk to new investors. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Henrik. Now let's move to the next pitch. Hearing now from Raphael, who's building GenWealth, and he'll talk a bit about crypto recovery and inheritance. Over to you, Rafa.
All right, thank you. Let me just share my screen. Hello, everyone, by the way. All right. So digital inheritance does not work, and GenWealth is here to solve it. This is Stefan Thomas, a crypto user like you and me, who lost $700 million in Bitcoin because he lost his seed phrase. Can you imagine the despair? I would have broke my computer. And this is just one of many stories, with 20% of the supply of Bitcoin lost forever, more than $370 billion, either because people lose their seed phrase or they die without a solid recovery plan. And this is concerning when we take into account that in the next 20 years, the equivalent to 6 times the GDP of Switzerland in crypto assets is going to be inherited, and we have no reliable solutions. This is why we created GenWealth, a crypto inheritance and recovery DApp that leverages smart contracts to empower you to create rules for inheritance and a plan B for your crypto. For inheritance, you're able to create your own blockchain will, where you set rules, beneficiaries, and define which assets should go to whom. And when the time comes, beneficiaries just connect and claim their share. For recovery, you're able to set safety wallets that you control, set an inactivity deadline, and once you lose access to your wallet and become inactive, you're able to use one of those safety wallets to regain control over your assets. We do have competitors, but they work differently. They either require specific hardware and are complex to use, or they focus on sharing the seed phrase and encrypting it, but that comes with risks and is limiting. Or they use multi-sig technology and require you to trust intermediaries. We are the only solution that leverages smart contracts to create legally compliant wills on the blockchain that can be executed without intermediaries. We've launched our first version and tested it with crypto users and inheritance firms, and these firms want to use it to manage real-world inheritance processes, including tokenizing RWAs. And this is our long-term vision. We want to expand to the wider inheritance industry, where in the next 20 years, the equivalent to 90 times of the GDP of Switzerland will be inherited in assets. And we have a huge opportunity to make inheritance much simpler and cheaper for a lot of people. We can sustain our business with a 1% fee, much lower than the current 3 to 10% costs in the industry. And with a small share of the crypto inheritance flows, we can have a steady revenue of 90 million per year. We have a team with experience in the inheritance industry, launching an online will creation app and partnering with inheritance professionals and firms, but also a solid background in blockchain development with 2D apps launched on mainnet and overall experience handling the challenges of entrepreneurship. We'll be opening our pre-seed round in September, October, and it will allow us to launch our solution, to integrate with the Bitcoin ecosystem, and also prepare it to be used in the real world by inheritance firms. So if you're an investor who believes in making inheritance easy, would love to speak with you. Thank you all so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rafa, for the pitch. Now we're moving to the second to last pitch of today's session. And I would love to pass the word over to Roy, who's joining us from Kenya and telling us how they're building infrastructure to empower farmers on the ground.
Thank you. Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Roy Njoka. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Terralima. So Terralima is what we call a digital commodity chain platform. And the problem we are solving is that, African farmers produce some of the highest quality commodities. So think about your cocoa, tea, coffee. The best of these commodities comes from the African continent. But these farmers remain some of the poorest people on the planet. And the reason behind that is they don't have the tools to deliver, transparency, traceability, even ESG compliance that some of the international buyers need to be able to tap into these international markets directly. And compounding this is that they also sort of remain excluded from the formal financial system, which means they're not able to grow as well as protect themselves from personal shocks. So they don't have insurance or as well as climate shocks. And so that's why we built Terralima. So Terralima is a platform that we built to connect farmers to the aggregators that they work with. So think about a coffee cooperative with 10,000 farmers. So our platform digitizes the database of farmers that the cooperative has, digitizes the process of aggregating produce from these farmers, as well as digitizes the process of paying these farmers, giving them access to digital financial services. Now, we've seen a great opportunity in Web3, and that is why we want to bring all these transactions on-chain. And that's starting with a smart contract system for the aggregation of the produce, as well as smart contracts for the international buyers that will be coming to source from this ecosystem. We also want to, so we're currently in the process of turning the farmers' wallets that are currently on mobile money based system into a Web3 based or crypto wallet based on a Cardano stablecoin. This will allow us to then tap into the inherent or rather deliver the inherent benefits of blockchain and crypto to these farmers as well as the cooperatives they work with. Our business model is simple, so we charge a SaaS fee to the cooperatives, which is a monthly fee. We also make transaction fees for every time money moves within our system. We're also looking to get commissions from the commodities that are traded on our system. We're tapping into the huge global commodities market out of Africa. So we're looking at value chains that have an export potential. And we've started with the tree value chain, but our platform can work for any other sort of export-focused value chain. So think about macadamia, cashews, cocoa, any of these commodities that are basically for export. In Kenya, we've tapped into a network of 540 cooperatives with 1.23 million farmers. And this is through a partnership we have with the largest farmer cooperative. We've also sort of closed, we currently have 5 farmer co-ops on our platform, as well as a partnership with a Pan-African bank, through which we are able to get the regulatory cover and deliver some of the digital financial services. We're now looking to sort of to raise $500,000. This is a pre-token launch in Q4 of this year. Beyond the pre-token phase, we are also looking to raise another $3 million that will go mostly into a lending pool, which we can use to then on-lend to these farmers and deliver some benefits to our token holders. Myself and Lovell have previously built and exited fintech startup in Africa. And so we're now sort of building on this to be able to solve this access to market problem and access to financial services problem for smallholder farmers in Africa. Kelly is leading the charge into Web3, so converting our current system, which is on Web2, onto the ADA ecosystem. Thank you so much, and happy to talk, to talk more. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Roy. And now we're moving to the last pitch of this demo day. And I'm moving over the word to Gauthier, who's joining us from France and telling us how or what they're building at Olapa.
All right, everyone. Good day to you. My name is Gauthier. I am the CEO of Olapa Networks. So today I'm going to talk to you about a huge problem that can be solved. And this is what we're doing. So companies with sensitive data need to keep logs of each event in their cloud. Who accessed which data, when, how, and so on. Log alteration or log corruption costs around $160 billion per year in data retrieval, curation, legal cases, and so on. And according to McKinsey reports, AI attacks, about market predictions and CM market studies, this is going to be around $600 billion lost every year by 2032. So that's the GDP of Sweden. Let that sink in. So what we offer is Olapa, a SaaS solution that tells you basically what happened, when, and how. Immutable event data logging for enterprises. That's basically offering companies legal protection and corporate insurance because you can prove that you didn't commit the fraud. And also hackers cannot hide their tracks, so you can turn off the valve and limit losses early. We bring basically Web3 to SaaS and CM. So CM is the field of security of information and event management. And we offer blockchains, decentralized and tamper-proof registries. And we notarize every log on a tamper-proof network. Basically, we come from the field of Web3, where everybody is paranoid about data safety. We're just monetizing this mindset. The field of CM itself is a very profitable field. We have tech giants there, AT&T, Microsoft, IBM, multiple CM-only heavy hitters. The biggest one and our biggest competitors will be Splunk, $4.2 billion of yearly revenue, and a few others. Our superiority claim is that we're incorruptible by design because we are inherently Web3. The pathway to huge revenues basically is that we're offering a B2B SaaS solution, a monthly subscription or a pay-as-you-go. And the go-to-market plan is that we will start with small companies that find competitors such as Splunk too clunky, too heavy, and we'll build up new features and we'll gradually go towards bigger competitors. This is a market between $15 billion and $20 billion a year. Even 0.5% market penetration would already give us the mighty $100 million in returns. My co-founder Fairway was an ex-Google engineer, and he has founded the company Moon and has been building tech for the blockchain industry for 5 years. Myself, I've been in this industry for 7 years, and we have Zoe, a trainer and consultant in information security and expert in biz dev and research in the CM market. We have a few other execs that you'll discover if you look at the deck. We have signed a deal with Salesforce. That means that from day one, we will have a partnership and logging on CRMs. We built 80% of the tech, which is currently in use in the Cardano blockchain under the name of Sky Protocol, and we have raised $500,000 under the form of non-dilutive funding through community support and grants. In 6 months after funding, we can generate a revenue-ready MVP interoperable with competitors with a simple interface and all the legal compliance standards that we can have. And we'll have a sales team that is operational, and we're raising money for 18 months of runway in order to basically refine our targeting process and to have new features that can allow us to upsell and have offers for bigger customers. Our ask is $1.3 million for equity. This gives us the runway, the development of our marketing process, and of course, finishing our tech. Our dream exit strategy would be to be acquired by heavy hitters like Salesforce, because they do that quite often, or of course, Splunk, our big competitors. We want to give the cloud back its trust, the trust that it deserves. So if you guys want to be part of this cool adventure and solve a very costly problem, we'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gauthier. And with that, that was the last pitch for today. And I want to say again a big thank you to all the startups who have been amazing to work with throughout the last few months. And yeah, a shout out to you. We will also, to our audience, we will send out a mail to you after the event with, again, a summary of each project and the engagement form if you want to connect to some of the startups. And that's it. Any parting words, Olaf?
That's all. I think thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the contributors. Yanis, thanks for getting us through this afternoon. And to the startups, best of luck in your future endeavors on the next steps, and we'll be now part of your family.